You. Hi, everyone. This is Michelle Gramoglia, the President and CEO of Woodland Pond, and this is my weekly address for a Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. So why don't we get into the updates for today? I'd like to start with the updates that we have related to our emergency exercise for tomorrow, so that those folks that are not interested in the other things can drop off after the exercise information is gone over. So as you know, we've been planning this emergency exercise for over a year. It will take place tomorrow. It is a little surprising to me, but we'll go through some of the basics on some of the questions I was asked yesterday after the memo was released. But yes, this is a full campus exercise. So although I do not know the specifics, as you all know, I am not one of the two trusted agents on campus. So I don't know the scenario that will happen tomorrow, but yes, it is something that could happen anywhere on campus, inside, outside, independent living, assisted living, theoretically, garden view, our memory care unit, skilled nursing, basement, the pool, bathrooms, kitchen, really anywhere. So, and then multiple places. I do expect that it will be in multiple locations. So to be clear, the entire campus is in play. I do not know what time of day this will happen. It will not happen first thing in the morning. I do know that. So everyone will be able to get a full sleep in and be able to get up and do a normal, morning time from what I understand. So we don't need to worry about that. It is not necessarily an active shooter situation. Yes, we have been doing active shooter trainings, but it's not necessarily an active shooter situation. We've given lots of different scenarios that it can be. We have done a little bit of a straw poll on our new resident portal that we're testing out on our website, and residents have been very creative with the ideas that you've given us. Some real die-hard kind of scenarios where you've got lots of different bombs and helicopter crashes and things going off. I have no idea if this is the kind of thing that the planners have envisioned. Maybe so. We will find out tomorrow. You will see again that multiple news outlets have picked up the press release. There are giant road signs on North Putt Corners Road indicating to the neighbors that they should be expecting delays tomorrow on the roads, because as you know, there will be no coming and going tomorrow once the drill happens. And it can be, something that from start to finish, in different parts of the campus can be, a couple of hours. That does not necessarily mean that one part of the campus will necessarily be closed for a couple of hours, but the duration of this can be, it's not going to be 5 minutes. As I indicated in my memo yesterday, this is a controlled and planned event, but it's also a safe event. So we understand that folks may be nervous, especially about whether or not if you're going to get stuck someplace, okay? If you need to use the bathroom and you're stuck in a location, you're in the fitness room, you're in the pool area, etc., all you need to do is just excuse yourself and go use the bathroom and then come back to wherever you are. Of course, we want this to be as realistic as possible, but we're not looking for people to have accidents, okay? So just be respectful of the process and let somebody know that you need to use the bathroom. It's as simple as that. Let's see, what other questions have come up? There have been some staff questions that have arisen. We've been answering those as we go. I continue to be available here to answer questions. Most of you, if you're getting this, you'll get the email distribution link of this video from me. You're very good about emailing me back. You know how to get in touch with me at my desk. You can call Woodland Pond front desk. The one thing I will note, I believe the bank has confirmed that they will not be open tomorrow. Dedrick's branch definitely will not be open tomorrow. So when I send this link out, I will make sure I put that in the cliff notes. I would like to just thank our two trusted agents on campus, Cameron Ilgner and Rob Dunn, for all the hard work that you've done in planning this event with the folks at the county. And we will be doing a full thank you and appreciation once this is all over. And just so that you know, tomorrow, once the event is over, we will be doing an internal, what we call a hot wash after the event to really go through all of the missed opportunities. That's exactly why we're doing this, to come up with the list of things that we identified that we can do better next time. And then we will be doing the same hot wash type of a post-exercise review meeting with all of the agencies that are involved on the 11th of October. So this is all for learning. This is all for improving. This is all for enhancing the safety of our community in the event of an emergency. So if you are receiving this and you are a family member or a resident that has not been getting our emergency alerts on your cell phone or on your landline or your email, and you want to be, please make sure you contact Woodland Pond before tomorrow's exercise. The best thing to do is either respond to my email when I send the link out to this video today, or to call our concierge, our main desk, and let them know that you'd like to be added to that alert system. Okay, so some drill related. Oh, one more thing about the drill, very important. This has been in pretty much all of the communications that we've put out, but I want to remind everyone about this. Tomorrow at 2:20, nationwide, everyone's 2:20 Eastern, nationwide, everyone's cell phones are going to be going wild. These emergency alerts are going out from FEMA and the emergency alert system, testing our phones. It's just coincidental. Our date was picked a year ago. They just happened to piggyback on it. So in the middle of our drill, possibly, depending on what time our drill is, there's a possibility that everyone's phones are going to be going off. But regardless, at 2:20, your phone is going to go off tomorrow, your cell phone. And this is this FEMA drill emergency alert that's going off. So just everyone be aware of that. Okay. A few calendar type reminders. Let's start there. On Thursday, we have two things going on that you should be aware of. At 1:30 in the PAC, we are going to be doing a training session on the new resident community forum, which is a online resident only place that you can communicate with each other electronically, which is accessible through our website on the resident portal. We have been sending out instructions on this. They were in the Chanticleer on Friday, and I sent them out via email yesterday to the residents. But this is a place where you can go and say, hey, I need a ride on this day to this place, and it just goes to residents. Residents can sign up to get, I think you can sign up to get a notification if someone posts a message there. Shannon's going to go through all of the instructions on that on Thursday in the PAC on how you can use that tool to communicate with your neighbors, and then residents can respond to that. So it's somewhat like a social media site, but I don't think you can post pictures or anything. It's really just sort of like an old school message board, but residents were asking for this so that they could, you know, communicate with one another in a secure fashion. And you will see again that I did post a topic yesterday asking residents what they thought our scenario would be for tomorrow, just to use it as a test. Another thing happening on Thursday is we do have our last evening dinner towards the Alzheimer's fundraiser for the A team. And so if you do go to dinner in the dining room, a portion of those proceeds will be going towards the Alzheimer's Association fundraiser. We are so close to making our goal. I'm so thankful and appreciative to everyone. Lots of events. Again, thank you to Cameron Ilgner for all your efforts there. And just on the note of the main event, which is the Walk to End Alzheimer's, we are walking on the 14th. On the walkway, and you're going to see Woodland Pond is really right there at the head of the walkway. We are going to be welcoming all the walkers. We're going to have a table right there at the head of the walkway. If you would like to participate to volunteer at the walk in any capacity with our A team, you can sign up at concierge, and we will be providing transportation. We just need to know if you need transportation. There will be resident accessible restrooms. We will be providing Woodland Pond specific seating and tenting because of our level of participation in the walk. We're a sponsor. We want to be visible there. We really do feel that this is an excellent cause. There will be food and drink available there at the walk for a fee. There's going to be lots of vendors, and there will be an opening ceremony at 10 a.m. and we will be recognized based on our participation. So you can sign up at Concierge, or you can sign up online depending on what level of participation. If you have additional questions on that, you can see or call Cameron on that. Let's see. Looks like the next thing that I have, most of you have probably seen by now that every year we hire a company to come and grind down the different mislevelings that happen due to weather, freeze and thaw cycle and things like that. They come out and they do concrete grinding for us, and you've seen them around, I'm sure, now that the sun is actually shining. And they're out in front of the building today. They were here the last couple of days, I think. And this is great. They do a great job. They kind of get those different misleveled cracks down for us, but it takes some time. So I think this time we have 18 different locations, and that doesn't just mean 18 different cracks. It means 18 different like full locations, which might mean, multiple different concrete sections that are being worked on. So it takes them quite a bit of time. So just be patient. If you have a question about one of the areas of concern that you have, where you've identified over the last, couple of months, and you're concerned to make sure that they're on the list to be done, you can contact the concierge and just inquire about that, and we can check their scope report and make sure that that's on the list. And we will double check that for you because, they have obviously quite a list of things to do. Second to last thing I wanted to mention, we've had repeat reports, especially in light of the exercise for tomorrow, that the door by the art studio in the community building has been found open, being propped open a number of times recently. And we cannot have that. We cannot have any of our doors being propped open. We're not entirely sure if it's a staff member, a resident, a vendor. We don't know who it is. We're letting staff know this is not acceptable if it's a staff member. But if it's a resident or your contractor or visitor, this is my message to everyone that's listening. We cannot have our doors being propped open. It's a security issue. We already know that we had a resident that fell on one of these big rocks. I don't know that it's a rock that's holding it open right now, but the doors need to be secure. They need to be securely closed. All of the exterior doors, with the exception of the front doors, are on a secure badge system. That's by design. All of this ties into the security of our campus, but it's also peace of mind for the residents, and we cannot have the doors propped open. So if you have information about who you think might be propping the doors open, if you could please let concierge know. No one's going to get in trouble, but we will speak to the person. It's not about being punitive. It's just about reminding that the expectation is that the doors remain closed securely. If you come across a propped open door, please don't just walk through it. Please close it. Don't worry about somebody getting mad at you. I want you to think about the fact that you don't want to be the person that lets a bear in, or a snake, or a bad guy. So you want to keep those doors closed. You don't need to be the nice person. You need to be the person that secures our building. Okay. So if you find a door propped open, it's everyone's responsibility to close it behind you. Okay. All right. So the last thing is, and I'm going to be reiterating this message quite a bit, and I hope everybody listens to this and takes to heart what I have to say. So you've heard me make the notification, you've seen it in the Chanticleer, that this year the declining balance for independent living will not roll over after 12/31. And some of you are surprised by that because some of you have moved in the last couple of years. And in the last couple of years, 2020, 2021, and 2022, we have allowed some level of rollover of the declining balances at the end of the year in independent living. And that is strictly related to COVID. Prior to that, and in every year previously, so 10 previous years, there was no rollover. And incidentally, it used to be a monthly cutoff. So it used to just you'd have a month and then it was use it or lose it. We moved to an annual cutoff, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, because it was just a logistical nightmare. People would come into the dining room at the end of every month and say, what can I get for 50 cents? And it was crazy. So we moved to an annual cutoff versus a monthly cutoff a number of years ago. But in the last couple of years, we have allowed a rollover. And so at some point that has to stop. We have to go back to the original system because that's how the system works. We're not in an exception mode anymore because the pandemic is over. We're not living in an exception mode anymore. So we are not allowing the rollover this year. And so people have started to come into the business office and say, well, I have this balance, I have that balance, can I please roll mine over? So what I want to remind everyone of is a couple of things, and I'll use some examples. Okay, I pulled the report this morning to see like what kinds of balances are we talking about here. And, we've got a couple of people that have what I would call somewhat bigger balances, but nothing that I would call astounding balances. I mean, in the past, I've seen really big balances. Right now, we're not talking about really big balances, but even if we were, I need to remind everyone the reason that I'm looking at even somewhat, and even somewhat is maybe even an inflated description. The reason we have the balances that we have right now, in most cases, is because in 2021, we let everyone roll over 100% of their balances. And in 2022, we let everyone roll over an additional 300 if you were an individual and 600 if you were a couple. So in what we're looking at now, we have rolled over balances from 2021, and I'm sure we did in 2020 as well. I didn't go that far back. 2021, 100% got to be rolled over, whatever you had. 2022, an additional 300 for an individual and 600 for a couple. And all of that has just been accumulating. So, for example, I'm looking at a resident here that I know has been here for 10 years. She's got $650-ish in her account, which I don't consider that to be huge, but she may. She rolled over $200 at the end of 2021 and $300 at the end of 2022. So over $500 of her 658 is rolled over from prior years. So this is what happens if we keep allowing these rollovers. People are thinking that they're losing all this money, but it's really from prior years. So we need to just cut this off and just go back to the clean annual so that everyone knows kind of what they're using every year. What you're looking at is a lot of rolled over old money. And it's really not money, it's just credit balances, or decline balances, I should say. So we're going back to the old system. We're not going to be allowing these variances, but what we're really looking at here is just a real significant accumulation of whatever was rolled over in 2020, 2021, 2022, and you just keep rolling it. So we've got 3 months. We've got lots of strategies for you of how you can work that down if you're truly concerned about using it. But again, this is a lot of rolled over old stuff, a lot of old balances. If you need strategies on how you can utilize some of this, or if you are interested in maybe helping, because we've got some people here that are down to $100. We've got people that are using every penny. We've got some people that are in a charge up balance. It's all over the board. So if you're interested in maybe helping out neighbors that are, looking like they could use some funds to get them through the rest of the year, maybe if you want to speak to us or speak to your neighbors about that, we can help you with that. But rest assured, it's not exactly the problem I think that some are making it out to be. I'm in the office the rest of the week. I look forward to seeing what we learn tomorrow, and please, please, please go about your day as usual tomorrow. We really need people out This is an excellent, amazing, unprecedented opportunity for us all to learn. These first responders are doing so much to put their days aside tomorrow and come here and also learn. And the county will be better for it. Woodland Pond will be better for it. And I look forward to it. And thank you for your cooperation and faith in the community. See you soon.